A steam plant using a rebuilt Stuart 10V steam engine. Part 4. The initial live steam test of a Clevedon Steam Pisces Babcock type steam boiler. This is about gas burner management and controlling the available heat while running the Stuart 10V engine. First, gas burner management. You're never too young to learn, at least I'm not. And I learnt something new whilst making this video. Clevedon Steam gas burners are very different to other ones that I've used. I first noticed this when I lit both of the burners outside of the boiler. I lit both of the burners and felt at the temperature with my hand, which I would normally do when using ceramic burners, but these are nothing like ceramic burners. The heat these give out is dangerously hot, and just by waving my hand through the flames, I felt quite a lot of pain. Here I'm experimenting with the primary air holes in the Venturis, and the size of the holes is perfect. They're just as big as they need to be. There are comprehensive instructions on how to build this boiler and how to do things. I'm using a 2.5mm diameter twist drill to get the spacing between the gas jet and the edge of the Venturi hole. I've tightened everything up and I'm now ready to go. Lighting the burner is easy outside the boiler. It's a bit more difficult when it's inside the casing. Before fitting the burners into the boiler, I thought it would be a good idea to fill the boiler with water. It's very important to make sure that you have plenty of water in this boiler. These burners are very powerful. I'll repeat myself and say they produce a lot of heat. This is a good thing, provided that the boiler doesn't run dry. Here with the special funnel I made, fitted with an adapter, I'm filling the boiler with water from the kettle, which has been partially boiled. The water is only warm, it is not hot. And furthermore, for this test, I'm filling the boiler right to the top nut of the water gauge, because I don't know how it's going to perform. After filling the boiler with water, I replaced the safety valve. I didn't need to use a spanner on this because it has an O-ring fitted, and it seals perfectly by finger pressure only. This next bit is important. Only open the gas valve a very small amount and light the burners from each end. If the gas pressure is too high, as you light the second burner, the resulting disturbance to the airflow will blow out the first one. Rotate the gas valve as low as it will go and just let a very small amount of gas out to the burner. Then light one end using a long gas lighter. Very much like this one. I don't normally use these, I use small blow torches, like the little Proxon one that I use. Here the gas pressure is far too high for lighting the burners, the flame is unstable. And there was no possible way to keep both of the burners alight with this sort of pressure. Initially the flame on the first burner needs to be very small to allow the second burner to be lit in this confined space. Not like this. And once both of the burners are lit, don't crank up the gas pressure. You really don't need to. Just turn it up a little bit. Very quickly the boiler raises steam anyway, and it's now blowing off. The temperature of this boiler is much higher than I'm used to with small gas burners. I'm even having to use some heat insulation to turn the valves, and I don't normally need to do this. With frequently handling hot steam engine parts, my fingers are fairly fireproof after all these years, but not in this case. I turned down the gas pressure and the boiler continued to blow off. I think it's time to fit the engine, but the first thing to do here is fill the displacement lubricator with steam oil. The valve on the engine is not going to be used as a valve to control the steam pressure. At the end of a run I will unscrew the valve from the housing and then fit a piece of silicone rubber tubing to allow me to inject steam oil and WD-40 into the engine, because this is a cast iron engine. If I don't do this, then the piston will soon seize in the cylinder when it goes rusty. As I'm about to run this engine, I thought it would be a good idea to treat it to lubricating oil on all of the oiling points. The rule is with steam engines, if it moves, oil it. This little steam engine runs very well. And when I opened the steam valve on the boiler, it nearly jumped off the bench. I've turned down the gas pressure with the tap on the gas canister. because with the Stuart 10V running it was still blowing off, and that's just wasting steam. Apart from a slight blow on the steam chest gland, the engine runs very well. I'll fix that in the next episode. Some bubbles are appearing in the water gauge glass. This is entirely normal. Some water gauges have a blowdown valve to get rid of the bubbles, but unfortunately this one doesn't have that function. As you can see, there's still plenty of water in the boiler, and it is vital with these burners not to let this boiler run dry because it would be severely damaged. I'll stop talking for a while and let you listen and watch the engine. While I was running this engine, I kept hearing what I thought was a dog barking outside, but it wasn't. It was the boiler making a strange noise, like they do. I ran the engine for a while and everything was fine. Then I decided to open the steam valve and fill the workshop with steam, just to get this picture. A final warning in this episode: be very careful with these gas burners because they do generate a lot of heat, quite unlike a lot of ceramic type burners that are on the market. That's it for now. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.